Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie. Glad to see everyone. The sun is shining and it's going to be a glorious day, if a little chilly. We were down below freezing again last night, and I'm just hoping that some of the more fragile plants are going to make it through this small cold snap we're having. Right now, if you look out, the forsythia are beginning to bloom in my area, along with the dogwood trees and my favorite spring tree, which is the redbud. So our mountainsides are really quite colorful as the green begins to emerge. It's a time for new life, for new beginnings, for fresh starts. So many of us celebrated significant religious uh, moments over the weekend, which give you pause and time to reflect and time to express your gratitude. And with that in mind, one of the things that struck me as I started out this morning is the importance of forgiveness and letting go and realizing that we do have the opportunity to keep learning and growing. Um, Another thing that just floated through my mind, because that day is coming up before long, is filing taxes here in the United States. We all have to do that by April 15th. And that's a way, again, of bringing a conclusion to one year and starting fresh with a new beginning for the next year. Uh, and it always feels good to me when I accomplish that and everything's in the mail and it's done for another year. And I usually promise myself, oh, I'm going to keep better records, blah, blah, blah. And I do for a while, and I have to refocus occasionally because I'll forget about it. And it's important to remember that you can make a new beginning. And the best thing about the evolution of time is you get a fresh start every morning when you get up. Uh, and I always get up with gratitude because I'm still here. And that's a really cool thing to realize, is that you do get a fresh start. You don't have to just give up and say, I quit. I know um, each of us has a way that we define success and that we define failure. Uh, my dad always said, if you don't learn something new every day, it's a lost day. And I believe that's true. And so every day I look forward to, what is it that the world at large is going to teach me? And for me, the big reminder today was to forgive yourself when you stumble, when you fall. Um, I'll be totally candid with you. I got into the Easter candy over the weekend. I know better. I know chocolate candy, particularly, is a triggered food for me, and I need to stay away from it. But I didn't totally. I didn't go completely berserk either, but I ate some more candy than I should. And so this morning, I'm thinking about refocusing, uh, reordering things, getting the candy out of the house and in the hands of someone who can enjoy it, and it won't create a problem for them. So, in fact, my son stopped by and left here with a goodie bag for that simple reason. Everybody was here. We had a great time, but all the leftovers were still here and all the Easter baskets were still here. So it was important for me today to set as my first step in restarting and letting go of the weekend, was to make sure that the things that tempt me most were here to uh, tempt me even more. You know, it's sort of the in for a penny, in for a pound state of mind. I think if I take one bite, well, I might as well eat the whole bag. And that's totally, totally not a good state of mind to find yourself in. Top thing this year is to focus on having a great day every day and on new beginnings. Uh, You can start over at any point in time that you decide to. And one of the biggest things for me is to not focus on the less than wise decision I made yesterday, but to learn from it, build on it, and move forward. We're all going to have moments where we slip up. We're all going to have moments where we fail, if you want to call it that word. I usually don't use the word fail as much as I use the expression, oh, well, that was another learning opportunity. And boy, I often have learning opportunities. So I am keeping up with what my dad challenged with me many years ago, which is to learn something new every day. And I learn something new about myself every day as well. Um, it's amazing how well we think we know ourselves, and then we find out that we don't know ourselves quite as well as we thought we did. Sometimes our friends reflect to us uh, things that we're doing of which we have no real conscious knowledge because they're sort of imbued in the way that we handle ourselves on a day to day basis. I'm usually a pretty positive person, uh, and I try to be kind to myself as I would be to anybody else I meet. But also have a tendency to be my own worst critic, to sometimes pick myself apart, um, and to be quite harsh on myself on things that were not done as well as I knew I had the ability to do. Um, One of the things that I know to be sure is a lot of the obstacles that have come across my path in the past and the mistakes that I've made in the past have turned out to be the most positive learning experiences that I could have. You know, your life is a great teacher if you will just think about it in a spirit of kindness and forgiveness and give yourselves another chance. Um, that there was a philosopher, I think it was a Greek philosopher way back when, I think his name was Herculitus, who said the only constant in life is change. And that's really quite true. You start with a newborn and you go through all the stages of life that Shakespeare talks about in his plays. And you can see going from the infant to the old person how life evolves, that there are stages within which we have to travel to get to where we are at this point in our lives. And we need to use those stages in a positive way to encourage growth and encourage strength as we move forward. Um, there are a lot of motivational quotes about new beginnings. And as I think about them, uh, the constant of change usually figures into some of these quotes that we treasure and try to keep in place when the going gets tough. Giving yourself another chance to succeed is really important. So is defining what success means to us, because success doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. I listened to your comments here in our group and read the mimes you share and the stories that you put out. And one of the things I know is nobody is harder on us than we are. And we can beat ourselves up at almost any turn in the road for imperfection. And that's hard to get past when you want so much to do something right and get the best results. But forgiveness plays a role here. If you keep heaping negativity on yourself, you're much more likely to give up rather than to be like that mule who found himself in the bottom of the hole with no hope of getting out because it was too steep-sided and too deep. He simply, as the farmer began to shovel the dirt in the hole, began to shake it off his back as it fell down upon him and step up on the pile of dirt that was now below him until he reached the point where he could walk out of the hole. He took what was supposed to do him in and turned it around into a positive that ensured his ability to survive this first stress and first challenge and get on with his life as soon as he had done enough work to get himself out of that hole. And for us, especially for me today, that's my challenge is to get myself up, dust myself off, get the candy out the door, and move forward. It's a bright, blue skied, sunny day, and I can certainly find joy in this day just by looking out my office window. It's a day of celebration. It's a day of a fresh start. Uh, One thing I do know for certain is yesterday is gone. I cannot get it back. You, I don't get a do over for yesterday, but I do get a do better for today. And I'm going to build on that do better and decide that my week is going to begin in a very positive manner. The scales will say what the scales will say, but they won't do more than give me a touch point from which the rest of my week will move forward as it is meant to be. With hopefully with positive thoughts and with positive expectations, letting go of the obstacles, clearing the road for more success. Uh, Today, my new beginning is to get tempters out of the house. I think each day we have to look at is what do we see as our biggest challenge? Today, that's mine because Candy calls my name. I know it even knows my full name, Barbara Ann Richardson Katie. I'm over here on the counter getting stale. Well, quite frankly, I don't care if you're getting stale, but to prevent that, I'm going to give you away to someone who can enjoy you much more than I would. Because once that moment of pleasure through the lips is done, I have to deal with the regret of making a choice that was not the best one for my best health. I'm one of those people that really doesn't like to waste time on doing it wrong. I'll sit and think about it for a while, a good long while sometimes, to figure it out before I begin. And a lot of people may be like me. I want to try to develop the most successful, most proactive plan I can uh, so that as I move forward, I quit having to have so many do-overs. Um, you would think by now I would have learned all there is to know. Well, that's a big mistake. Uh, I don't think I'll ever learn all there is to know. There's always going to be something else I need to learn. And hopefully, I will keep my mind wide open as well as my eyes and my ears because you all help me tremendously. Your ideas, your inputs, your struggles help me find new and more productive ways to deal with each other. So for today, I am most grateful for a fresh start, a new beginning, a way to do better, to focus more clearly on my primary objectives, one of which is always going to be being as healthy as I possibly can be, given the circumstances as they are in my life. I hope that you will find a goal you want to pursue today and give yourself the joy of a fresh start, of a new beginning. I can see so many directions this can take us. And I'm really glad that one of the sayings we're putting out there in comps for everyone to embrace is 2023 is the year for me. It's the year for me to take advantage of every opportunity to succeed that I'm offered, to the support that you all offer. Uh, we are stronger definitely together than we are apart. And I want all of us to remember that we don't have to go this journey alone. We can reach out and ask for help. We can reach out and give help when we see someone else struggling. It is a beautiful day outside and inside. My heart is full. Uh, I'm glad to share the beginning of a brand new week with you, and I'll be interested to see what is your starting point to make this week the very best one it can be for you. Now, I've got some goodies to deliver to uh, neighbors that actually can enjoy them. And getting them out of the house is going to bring me tremendous joy. So you have a great day. I intend to, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.